Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Raul. In today's video, we're going to be doing a graphics and NVIDIA settings for Season 2 Warzone. If you guys have not noticed, the game has honestly changed kind of drastically on Caldera. The colors are different, the sharpness is different, the lighting seems different. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you guys through the Season 2 settings that I am rocking right now. All right, let's start over with our NVIDIA settings. We got ourselves image scaling off, ambient occlusion off, anisotropic filtering off, anti-aliasing, FXAA on off, gamma correction on. We want anti-aliasing mode on off. I'm going to use anti-aliasing in the game. You're going to want off, all off. Low latency is going to be on ultra. This is honestly preference. A lot of people say that they don't feel a difference, but I personally do feel a difference having low latency on ultra. Honestly, you can play that one by ear if you don't like it. Max frame rate is on off, and then fixed refresh. Make sure you are not using G-Sync, or you are going to be having input delay. So if you do have a G-Sync monitor, just be sure you don't have that on. I mean, unless you prefer it, it's going to pretty much just match your frames with your refresh rate on your monitor, which is going to give you a better looking game, but you are going to have input delay, which is what we're trying to get rid of. Because if you're multi-managing like 3-4 people at a time in a fight, input delay is going to get you killed. So multi-frame is going to be on off. GPU obviously is going to be your GPU, and then power management for me is maximum performance. This is for a higher end PC. I do not want anyone's PC to explode, and please do not point fingers at me if you rock these settings and your PC implodes on itself. This is for a, a medium tier build and above, I'd say. But I think even on a low end, we're not really doing anything crazy here. Do application control, driver default on, allow. High performance is an important one. Be sure you have it on performance or high performance. You do not want to prioritize quality. What performance and high performance is going to do is going to help you with latency and your bullet registration essentially in the game. So make sure you have that on performance or high performance. I have it on high. And also make sure you have your trilinear optimization on. This is very important. And threaded optimization on as well. Very important with these two. And then triple buffering off, vertical sync off, the virtual reality pre-render frames on 1, and virtual reality variable rate super sample on off. And then another important one that you guys want to make sure you have here, make sure you are on your max refresh rate. If you are not, be sure to buy a display port or a USB 2.0 or a HDMI 2.0 or better. Make sure you are as maxed out as your refresh rate goes on your monitor, guys. And then I also plan 1440p, so make sure you have that correct as well. If you are also trying to stream your content, you do need a 4K Elgato to record 1440p. I did not know that when I got one, so I learned the hard way. So if you are looking to get a 1440p monitor, be sure you have an Elgato 4K to cap with. And then my color settings are pretty standard, honestly. I have my digital vibrance a little bit higher at 65. It's preference as well, but I don't like going too high on this setting because I don't know if I feel input delay, but it feels a little bit weird. And the game is just like way too much going on. My eyes are literally melting. So I don't like having that one too high. Gamma is just a little bit higher. I have it literally 0.1 higher because I'm an absolute weirdo and I think it makes a difference, but it probably doesn't make much of a difference, honestly. Contrast is on 52. You're going to want to go ahead and mess with your monitor settings more so than these colors over here. And just make sure you have your colors on limited. I would recommend limited over full. Full also seems to add some kind of like a weird input. Just makes more pixels have to work harder. So it's going to make your game less smooth than rendering less colors. Your game is going to look pretty much the same. And honestly, full makes your game, it makes the whites really white and the darks really, really dark. So I really wouldn't recommend rocking it. Also makes your game feel kind of wonky. I don't know. I don't like the way the game feels with full, but it is preference at the end of the day. Maybe it looks better on your monitor. So at the end of the day, color settings and brightness settings are all based on your individual preference. Now, my monitor settings right now, I'm using this Alienware 1440p. I have my response time on super fast, and I have my brightness on 65 and my contrast on 70. I actually was making the mistake back in the past where I had my brightness way too cranked. I had it on like 75, 80, 85. And honestly, after talking to a couple of my buddies, I actually brought the brightness down and cranked the contrast up. And it made a little bit of a difference. Honestly, I feel like the game looks better to me now. Let me know if you guys think that works. All right, guys, and now let's go ahead and get into the graphic settings. So for me, be sure you have it on full screen. Do not play full screen borderless or any of that stuff. Be sure you have the correct display adapters and display monitor. Make sure your screen refresh rate matches what you had it on in the control panel, guys. This is very important. Render resolution, if you're on 1080p, you could actually probably get away with cranking it up a little bit. But if you are on 1440, then I would just obviously stay. Everything else is pretty standard. Brightness is honestly up to you as well. This display gamma, once again, if you want your game to look brighter, if it doesn't look nice with your current settings, try this BT. A lot of other players like Mutex, for example, they do play with this display gamma on the 2.4, but I prefer 2.2. And then make sure you have NVIDIA reflex low latency on enabled plus boost. This is very important. It's gonna help you get more frames. It's gonna help your game look better, and it's gonna help you with your input delay. And now we're gonna go and hop into the field of view. I'm on 120 FOV. I think it's very important to play on as big of an FOV as possible. If you're just getting in to Call of Duty, be sure you have a 27-inch monitor. I would highly recommend getting a bigger monitor That way you can play on 120 FOV and still be able to see, because I had a very difficult time seeing anything on a 24-inch monitor playing on 120. I actually wasn't even able to play on 120. I had to play on 110 FOV because it was just so zoomed out. 27-inch monitor fixed it all. You're wondering why 120 seems weird and why maybe so many streamers are playing on 120. You're like, how are they seeing people? It's because they're playing on a 27-inch monitor. You want this unaffected. You want this on 50. And now this is going to be on low. You want your texture resolution on roughly around normal. If you can't process normal, then you could actually go on low. And I'll actually tell you something. I'm going to give you guys a little tip for a setting with low or very low to make your game look much better. You're gonna want texture filter anisotropic on low, high quality on high, enabled, disabled. This is actually gonna help you look at gunshots and bullet fire across the whole map. So I actually used to have this disabled. Now I actually have it enabled because it actually really helps see gunfire across the map. Everything else on disabled. And now right here, this is where if you were going to play on very low or low, actually put on your SMAA1X. Still have your filming strength on 1.0, but this SMAA1X really does make the game look tremendously better. I know a lot of other pro players that like to rock this SMAA1X. I personally prefer it on off, but I've been interchanging the two. And personally, I think SMAA looks better, but it doesn't perform as nice. And off looks worse, but performs much better. So that is preference, and that's always going to be there for you. I think it's worth trying if you can't see anything in your game. Everything else is going to be disabled, and we got low map shadows, double enable your cache shadows, particle lighting on low, disabled, and disabled. With that being said, hopefully the graphics video helped you guys out, man. I know not a lot of other creators like to make graphics videos. I don't know really why that's the case. This is what I've been using, and this is what actually a lot of other, you know, medium level to high tier WarZone guys have been using. I've kind of been taking bits and pieces of everything and making my own settings using them. So yeah, with that being said, we are live on Twitch at twitch.tv/rallied every single day, every single night. And we are daily on YouTube, youtube.com/rallied as well. If you're watching this, please be sure to drop a subscription on the channel, leave a like on the video. And I got you guys with daily, informative, and sexy content, baby. Informative, gun video, all that good stuff. Take care. You look freaking good. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Italy deuces.